Hello everybody, a very good evening. Welcome to the live webinar today. What are we going to discuss today is we are going to quickly talk about getting introduced to DataMine and how to navigate in a DataMine. So what are the content or what are the topics that we're going to talk about today is a quick hello there message, some of the flyers that we have seen, how and the process of signing up, a quick introduction to crowdsourcing, what is the workflow for to follow for the old users, how does the marketplace and the report tabs look like, some of the FAQs that we have faced till date. Hello everyone, welcome and thank you for joining us today for the webinar. Some of the flyers that you must have seen till date are these. The first flyer is the flyer where it talks about how to log into DataMine, an introduction of onto DataMine, etc. There are three important steps that this flyer has talked about. The first one is the creation of Outlook ID. Creation of Outlook ID was an important step or is an important step before you join into DataMine, because the Outlook ID that you have to create is the one that is used to start working on DataMine. So it is very important for you to create an Outlook ID as a first step. The second important step that is to fill in the details on the profile page. The first one is, like I said, the Outlook ID as a secondary email and the language proficiency. These two are the mandatory steps that you have to fill on the profile page on your DataMine. So this second step talks about that. The third step is the time for registration. So DataMine takes 24 hours to register any new user onto the platform. So the third step talks about it. It takes 24 hours for any new user to get registered onto a DataMine's platform. The one on the right, the flyer on the right, talks about the webinar that you have attended today. So this is a quick introduction to the webinar. What are we going to talk is we are going to see how to navigate and we will also be introduced to DataMine. So this flyer is the same one that you have seen to join the webinar today. We will see how do we sign up onto DataMine. So there is a workflow document which talks about the sign up for all the new users. How do we do that? We have a document which is called the workflow document. This document will quickly allow us to see the steps on how to log in and how to create an Outlook ID, how to sign up, etc. So what does this document include? Again, there are two steps, that is the creation of Outlook ID, like I said, the tool overview and the registration process. Let's quickly look at the workflow document. How does it look like and what is it talking about before we move on to the next slides in the PPT. This is how the workflow document will look like. So the workflow document, like said, has the first step, that is Outlook ID creation. How do we create an Outlook ID? Is we just have to type an outlook.com into any of your preferred browser and click on the create free account button. Once you click on create the free account button, you'll be able to see an ID creation or create account page where you'll have to fill your desired email, whichever you want to create an Outlook ID like, and then click on next. Once you click on next, you will be able to see a password creation page, which is a mandatory step. You have to create a password. Just create a password and click on next. Once you click on next, there are a few required fields that you're supposed to fill in. Just fill in the required steps and click on submit to create the account. Once you create the account, you will be able to log into a Outlook ID. This is the ID that you are supposed to use onto DataMine as your secondary email ID. Repeating the step again, it is very important for you to create an Outlook ID to get started on to work with DataMine. Now let's look at the tool and how is the registration process in the same workflow document. The step remains the same. We have to log in to the URL, that is app.datamime.ai. By now you must be having this link. So this is the link that we use to log into Datamime. Click on or copy this URL into a new browser, into a new tab. This is how the login page looks like, where you have different options to log in and sign up. As a new user, we are supposed to sign up. So click on sign up to start on the registration process. Once you click on sign up, you will be able to see a page where it asks you for a registration email. This registration email can be your desired email. It can be your Gmail, Hotmail, any email that you wanted to register onto Datamime. So give an email and click on create account. What will happen after clicking on create account? We have further steps that we have to follow. Once you click on give your email of Outlook, Gmail, or any of your email ID and click on create account, you will be able to see an activation email that is sent to your registered Outlook or Gmail ID. The email looks as below. You can see this. So the email looks like this, where you have a registration or email verification that is being sent by Datamime. You have a specific button called activate account. Just click on activate account. Here we have a quick note that we have to follow, that is this email can be in your junk email section also. So if you do not find this activation email in your inbox, please do check your junk email section to find this email. So once you find this email, click on activate account. Once we click on activate account, we will be taken to a sign up page where you have to fill in the basic details of your first name, last name, create a password, and then agree to the terms and conditions. Click on create account. Once you click on create account, once you finish the step of sign up and creation of account, you will be automatically redirected to a login page with a registration successful message on top, which looks like this, where it says your registration has been successful and you can log into your Datamime account. So how do we log into the Datamime account? Is by using your registered email ID plus the password that you have created in the previous step, in step 4, where you've created a password. Log in with the email ID and password and click on login. Once you log in, you will be taken to a profile setup page where you have some very important details to fill in. That is, you have the first name, last name, your email that is registered, which is automatically filled. The secondary email ID, that is your Outlook ID, has to be filled here, which is a mandatory step. Do not miss on filling the secondary email IDs. This is a mandatory step. Then you have your place of birth, your place of residence, and your personal information. Please fill in all the personal information and move on to the next step. Here are few mandatory things that you are supposed to fill in. This mandatory thing is we are being repetitive on the mandatory steps because it is very important for you to fill these. The Outlook ID, the language proficiency. If you have any language specific knowledge, it can be French, German, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, whatever language specific thing that you have, please fill in those language proficiencies here, and also give in your proficiency of how you can read, speak, and type. So this one is very important. If you do not have any specific language proficiency, please fill in this as English, as this is mandatory. Why are we being very specific about language proficiency is there can be or there are chances of we getting specific language tasks where it will be very helpful for us to give you those specific languages. Once you finish all these mandatory steps, just click on update. Once you fill in all the details, click on update to update your profile. like said in the beginning, like our first flyer said, it takes 24 hours for the interface to give you access or get you enabled with the tasks. So once you have filled your profile, this is how your data mine tool or will look like, the home page. It says the profile is updated, but there are no applications that are being assigned to you. So it's a blank page. As it takes 24 hours, I will not be able to see anything over here. Then there is, once your tasks are assigned, there is a mandatory NDA form that you are supposed to agree to. Please do not forget to agree to the mandatory NDA form. Once you click on read through the NDA form, click on the checkbox that I have read this agreement carefully and understood the terms, and click next to move on to this step. NDA form reading and accepting to the terms or agreement is very important. Please do not skip this step. Once you finish the NDA form after your 24 hours, once you're registered onto the applications, after you finish the NDA form agreement, you will be able to see, or you'll be able to redirect to a new HRS page, which is like this. This page is called a marketplace. I will show you this page practically in the upcoming in some time. So this page is the home page where you have different tasks that are available for you. There are different tasks that are assigned for you. It can be any one of these depending on the requirement. So let's quickly look at all of this in practical. So here is the data mine page. As I already have an account, I will go to the basic login page and show you how does it look like. So this is a page. I already have an account, so I'll just quickly give my credentials and click on login. Okay, here I have, so my applications page is the page where you have all the applications assigned to you. As I have registered and it's been 24 hours of my registration, I'm able to see my applications page. Once I click to start, I will be redirected to an EUHRS page. Just click on sign in. Once you click on sign in, you will have to pick up an account to sign in to your data mine. That should be the Outlook account that you have to pick up. So given your Outlook ID over here, and then your Outlook password. It takes a little time for you to go to the marketplace. Yeah, so here we are on the marketplace where I have different tasks that are being assigned to me. So here I have text annotations, I have search relevance, I have image annotations, I have video, I have search, speech transcription. So these are different tasks that are there for me. Inside each of these tasks, or inside each of this hit app, I have different tasks that are there. So here are the different tasks in each of these. So in text annotations, I have different ones. In search and search relevance, I have different. So depending on the requirement, these tasks will be assigned to you. So this is where your marketplace looks like. And then we have a quick thing called a report tab. A report tab is also an important tab where you have your report that is being generated. Depending on the dates that you fill in, you will be able to see the report on where it provides you with the total number of judgments, what how many earnings that are made, etc., which we will see in the PPT in detail. Yes. So this workflow document talks about the same, where you have a quick review of how the task looks like and what do they do. Let's quickly go on to the PPT and see what does it talk about. So now that we have seen the workflow document, we have seen how do we create the Outlook ID. We have seen how does the tool look like and what is the registration process. We'll move on to the next slide. Before we have seen this or understood or move on to the next steps on what is data mine, etc., we will understand what is crowdsourcing. What is crowdsourcing? As crowdsourcing is a basic thing where it gives you where it allows us to gather all the information from different large group of people via an internet. So as we're taking work or information or your opinions onto an internet on different types of data, we call all of this process as crowdsourcing. So as we are doing all of this over an internet, it is crowdsourcing. This is called crowdsourcing. And how is crowdsourcing on the platform helpful for all of us as freelancers or anybody else? Is that this online platform is helping us to work and earn very quickly and easily. So it is very easy for anybody to register and work on these tasks, and your earnings are also very quickly and easily made. So that is why we are all on crowdsourcing. So now that I've shown for all the new users, there can be old users who were using the Datamine previous version. So Datamine was on a different version previously. So all the users or any old users who were using Datamine or who were using the previous old Datamine has to follow a few steps to register onto the new version of the Datamine. Two steps are: the login page remains the same for old users also. You are going to use app.datamine.com to log into the page, but there is a different step that you have to follow. You don't have to register. I'm being specific again. This is for old users and not for any new users. This is for old users who were using the previous version of the Datamine. So the first step that the old users have to do is you just have to click on forgot password. Click on forgot password, and once you click on the forgot password, you have to give your registered email ID to reset your password and click on send OTP. You will receive a 6-digit OTP to your registered email ID. Once you receive the 6-digit OTP, just enter your OTP that you have registered, your email ID, your OTP, the new password that you want to give to your new Datamine, and click on reset. Once you click on reset, you will again be taken to the login page that we have seen, where you have to log in with your registered email ID and the new password. Once you give both of them, you will be again taken to a profile setup page. So the mandatory things are to be given again. That is the secondary email ID, your first name, your registered email ID, your personal information, your language proficiency. Everything has to be again given to the tool. Once you do this, click on update. Once you update, as you will be again be able to take up the new version of the Datamine, and you will be registered onto Datamine site. Any old user also will take 24 hours to get registered onto the new tool. Okay. We will quickly see how does the marketplace and the report tab look like in detail. So marketplace, like we have seen, is the home page of the tool, where you have different or various segments that are being assigned to you, like scene, where you have different segments like text annotations, where we have search relevance, image annotation, video, and speech, like we have seen. The other section is specific if there are any other from any of which is not from any of these will be in the other section. So this is the name of the segment. After you've been given to a specific task, you will be able to see the number of hit tabs that are available inside that task. So here in text annotation, I could see 7 different tasks that are assigned to me. So this number defines the number of tasks inside the segment. Once you click on the text annotation, like we have seen in the practical session before, if you click on text annotations, you will be able to see the hit tab overview. Like I said, there are 7 things. I could see all the 7 different tasks that are assigned to me. So how is the hit tab looks like, and what are the different things that are available on a hit tab? So the top one, this one is the name of the hit tab. So here the name of the hit tab is for the product details. So this is what is the hit tab that you're working on. There is a quick overview of how does the hit tab or what is the hit tab about. So of this hit tab, so hit tab is the task that you're working on. The aim of this task is to identify products and related details from a user query. So this is what this task is about. So this overview gives you on how does the task look like, or what is the task all about. Then we have few buttons over here. You can see the preview tab. This tab allows you to look or have a quick look on how is the task, or how does the tool look like, or how does the task look like on the tool. So to see the task or to see how is the task, you can click on the preview tab. And then there is this tab which talks about the training section. So this training thing has few training hits that are there. So these are few practice sets or few practice things that you can do before you go on to the qualification section. That is, you are supposed to attempt few practice sets before you go into qualification to see if you're missing on any of those main important details where the quality might take a dip. So this training set is very important. Then you have the most important thing, that is the guidelines. Guidelines are the set of instructions that are being provided for you to understand the task, to understand what is the task about, different examples that are being included for you to understand different case scenarios. So this tab is all about the guidelines. You can click on this to download the guidelines and to read through the guidelines. And then we have a qualify button which will allow you to take the qualification. Let's look at the other details. So when do you actually look into the training, or when do you actually have to take the practice set? On post understanding the guidelines, once you understand what the guidelines are, once you understand what is there in the guidelines, going through the examples, etc., you'll be given, or there are mandatory training practice sets that you're supposed to do. A minimum of 10 are supposed to be finished before you take the qualification set. How does the qualification look like? So once you click on the qualify button, there is a pop-up that comes up which talks about these are with a confirmation button. This pop-up gives you how many qualification attempts that you have had. That is, in here this message shows me that I have 3 qualification attempts and I have 20 qualification questions that I'm supposed to take up. So this gives me information of what and how is the qualification going to be. And then I also have a confirm button. So once I click on confirm button, I will be able to see the final qualification page of the tool. Okay. So now that we have seen this in words, let's see in practical. Let's go on to the UHRS, move on to the marketplace, go on to any of the tasks like text annotation. So I'll quickly show you how does the preview look like. So here is a preview. This preview will give you, I also have the mode that I'm going to look at. So this is a preview mode. I have a time that is running over here. The least time is 20 minutes for me. And this is simply how does the task look like for you to understand how and what is the task about. So this is how it looks like. How do I come out of this preview mode? Is click on this arrow which says return to the dashboard, where you'll be taken back to the dashboard. So I'll be taken back to the marketplace here. Okay, now that I've seen the preview tab, I have the training mode. So just click on the training. Here I'll have information of how many hits that I'm supposed to take. I have the hit tab details, that is this 46048, which is the number of the hit tab. Just click on all to take the training. So here is the mode. This is the training mode where you have a question and I have to fill in some details, and there is a submit button. Read through the guidelines, understand them, give all the details that are supposed to be given, and click on submit to finish or move on to the next question. So this is how your training set will look like. Again, how do we come back onto the dashboard? Is just click on this to return back to the dashboard. So that is how your training one looks like. Now let's see how does the guideline look like. Okay, so the guidelines look something like this. You have an overview, you have some examples, you have few things that are very specific about the task, where you have to read through all of this to understand the task and then move on to the training sets. So that is how we're supposed to do all of this. Alright, let's move back. Okay, now that we have seen all of that, the marketplace clearly, we will see the report tab. Like I said, the report tab gives you a quick display of how the progress of the qualification or practice and the earnings. So how do we do, or where do we find it? Is in the report section. After the marketplace, we have a specific section called report section where you can access these details. Click on report section. There are few things that we can see over here. The date filter, where it gives you a filtering option where you can see your report on a day wise, week wise, and month wise. You can select the date range that you wanted to see your report here. Select on the date that you wanted to see. This tab is where you will be able to see all of your earnings, your judgments. This is where your report will be generated on a day, month, or week wise as you have set your date. You also can download the report from here, which says download report. This tab allows you to download your report depending on the setting that you have made on date. Let's have a quick look at how does this tab look like clearly. Okay. The first tab is the hit tab. This one gives you information about different hit tabs that you can work on. So this one will display the hit tab name. We have seen that every hit tab has different name, or every task has different name. So this section or this tab will show you the different task names that you have worked on. This tab, that is the judgment total tab, will display the number of judgments that you have made in the hit tab. So if you have made 100, it will show 100. If you have made 200, it will show 200. So the total number of judgments that you have made in one single hit tab will be given here. This judging hours tab will give you the number of hours that you have worked on this specific task. The judgments per hour tab will give you the display of how many judgments that you have made in 1 hour. The potential earnings will, like the name suggests, gives you or displays the potential earnings. The incentive earnings will be displayed under this tab. The total earnings will give you the total earnings, which includes your potential and incentive earnings, which is displayed over here. The spam accuracy is a new term. So what is the spam accuracy? Is there are few particular set of 3 defined queries that will be given to you in every hit tab. So we call them spam accuracy. So these spams are the specific questions or specific set of questions that are there to assign the quality of an individual So we call them spam accuracy, which is there during the production. All right, this is how the report tab looks like. Like said, every report tab can be generated on a day, week, and month basis, depending or using the date filter that is there above. So there are a few FAQs that we have faced in the previous webinar, so we have included here. Can you share this video presentation of this webinar? Yes, the video presentation will be available on the Datamine for your access. What is the URL of the company? So it is zen3tech.com. So you can search the same on Google to find the URL. Can I change or can we change the primary email ID? No, the primary email ID cannot be changed because that is used for your registration on Datamine. You cannot change your primary email ID. What is spam accuracy? Like said in the previous sessions or in the previous slide, spam accuracy is a particular set of predefined queries that is there for the production to see how is the quality of the hits that are made by a single user or individual. Will the guidelines be sent to our Gmail ID that we have registered? No, the guidelines will not be sent to your registered Gmail ID. They are available on the Datamine tool. So I'll quickly show you where can you find the workflow document on Datamine, and again, where do we find the guidelines, etc. On Datamine, we have support. In the support section, we have few FAQs that are being included to reduce the confusion. Here we have few questions that are being answered already. So if you have any questions over here, you can read through these. In this, we also have the process and workflow related information. And just click here to view the process and workflow document that I have shown you is readily available on the Datamine. I'll quickly show the step again. On the Datamine tool, on your left side, on this tab, we have a support section. Just click on the support section. In the support section, we have FAQs. In the FAQs, you have at the bottom FAQs, which is related to process and payment. Here you have click here to preview. So if you can click here, you have the workflow document right in the Datamine, which you can use for your assessments. We also have payment related information over here, which you can click here. This is also a quick guidelines for you to follow anything which is related to your payments. Both of these FAQs are here at the bottom in the process and payment related documents. Where do we find the guidelines? As we can download the guidelines over here in the guidelines section, where they're accessible online. You do not have to, we do not have to email you about any of these guidelines. So they are right available over here in the tool itself. So this is how your tool looks like. So this is a quick introduction to the Datamine, how to register on Datamine, and how does the tool look like, and where do we have to go for the basic documents, and where do we have to click on before you start on work, etc. Thank you so much.